All right, how about the Matt Canada-less Pittsburgh Steelers pulling off a victory here against the Cincinnati Bengals? I know, Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals, all of that, but the offense looked way better. I know the overall point totals aren't spectacular, and we'll get into why some drives got stalled and why they weren't able to maybe light up the scoreboard, but they were able to at least light up some stat sheets, and I just thought in general, looked way better. Because at the end of the day, who cares about the stat sheet? It's how did you look? And they looked a lot better. Let's get into what I thought looked better about them. Let's start off with this play. What's going to happen here is this is a zone coverage play. I mean, really, right off the bat, things looked way better for the Steelers. They really did. Stuff like this was stuff they weren't really doing this season. And it's not that complex of a play. I mean, it's not like they hadn't run this play earlier on with Matt Canada, right? Maybe it's just making more of an effort to hit guys over the middle, like Freiermuth, who's going to try and get past the players over the middle of the field in this zone coverage situation. Watch as you're going to see that Pickett takes the snap. He looks over the middle, and right here you have, Freiermuth, who it's not like wide open or anything, but there is a window to make this throw. Pickett doesn't hesitate, and they're able to get the ball down the field. I mean, listen, I know the point total is the point total, but like they were moving the ball really effectively, right? And so that's something that you like to see. Why weren't they able to early on get many drives going? Well, it wasn't really them. I felt like it wasn't really them getting stopped as much as it was them kind of stopping themselves at times. There were moments of good defense, and there were moments of just them not playing well. Like going over here, I should be a little bit more fair to the Bengals defense and that the Bengals set up these situations. They sort of forced these Steelers to beat themselves. And like what I mean is something like this. It's a zone coverage play, and you see the concept on your screen. Kind of a simple concept where you have, receivers running 3 different lengths down the field. There's, usually only kind of 2 depths down the field that the defenders will cover. If they all cover underneath, you throw deep. If one covers deep, one covers underneath, you throw over the middle. If they both covered the more deep routes, which you typically expect them to, well, you have a check down here. That's what can happen. As you see, Pickett is going to take the snap right here, and here is where part of the issue was. The offensive line definitely still has some issues, and this is going to be the rookie on this play, Broderick Jones. So I think has looked all right this season, but on this play, giving up a pressure towards the outside, and you're kind of in that classic dilemma, right? Of do you hold here? You don't want to let your quarterback just get crushed in this spot, but also we got to talk about the situation in the game. There's currently 47 seconds left in the half. And, so for Pittsburgh, you're just on the outside of field goal range right here. A check down could be key. Even if it doesn't get you the first down, you can try a long field goal. But you see Pickett rolls out, Jones decides to hold on, and while they do get the check down, the holding penalty bumped them back 10 yards and they weren't able to score. Penalties and sacks were a real drive killers for the Steelers. They really were. And again, just to be clear, definitely to some degree, you have to give credit to the Bengals for rushing the passer well, right? But also, this has been a trend for Pittsburgh for a bit now. Matt Canada leaving doesn't all of a sudden make all the offensive linemen better as well, right? Also, heading over here, so this is going to be a 2nd down and 7 situation, and this is another way drives could get kind of killed. Again, similar spot, you're on the outside of field goal range, but one more first down, you're at least in field goal range. They're going to go with this wide receiver screen, and I'm not really sure what the plan is because you have a receiver who's going to actually be blocking the deeper defensive back on this play. As you see, Pickett takes the snap. He does throw it to Deontay Johnson, who ends up getting tackled, not being able to gain any yards, actually losing a good chunk of yards. And instead of setting up a 3rd down and 4 or whatever they were hoping would happen, maybe even a first down, they instead had the opposite happen. It creates a 3rd down and long, which they don't even really make an attempt to convert on, end up punting the ball back to the Bengals, which is just, these kind of things are what slowed the offense down and killed some drives that some of these looked really promising and ended up not ending up that way. On their touchdown drive that happened, about midway through the 3rd quarter, sometimes it's just guys making plays. And again, I don't know how much of this is the Matt Canada thing or just they happen to make plays here. But on 3rd downs, these are obviously such important plays. If you can find a way to convert on a 3rd down, that extends the drive. And just going from, converting a couple more of these a game, that can turn wins into losses. It really can. And a lot of times it's just one guy coming through. Like on this play, you see it's man coverage and you have a one-on-one matchup on the outside here on this 3rd down and 5. This is Calvin Austin, who, okay, maybe not necessarily the guy you're looking at. He's not George Pickens. He's not your number one, but still, you need a guy to make a play here. Watch as you're going to see Pickett takes the snap. He looks over towards Austin, and there's a window here. And this is what they were able to do on these third downs when the Bengals play their man coverage, which they like to play, is get guys to win. As you see, really good throw, really well-timed throw by Kenny Pickett, and they're able to pick up a first down there. Later on in the drive, you saw basically the exact same play with Pat Freiermuth just on the other side of the field. Really good stuff there by Pickett. Really good stuff there by the Steelers. And then this play, this was awesome. And again, I keep bringing up is this the Matt Canada not being there thing or is it not? But at the same time, this is kind of something we want to see more of, right? Even if it's just one or two more a game. Quite frankly, the Steelers' best play this season has been the George Pickens go route, right? Like, you don't always get opportunities for it. Teams are smart. They don't just leave him one-on-one too often throughout the game. But pretty much every time there's a situation like this, single safety deep, Pickens is running a deep shot, outside the numbers, you should almost always throw it to him, I think. Kenny Pickett is going to take the snap right here. You see him fire the ball down the field. And at this point, again, what's the thing with Pickens? He's not open, but he is open because he's Pickens and because he can make make things happen on a play like this. So just put the ball in his direction. It's one of those things where for Kenny Pickett, you could easily look at this and say, is that a smart play by him? Well, yes, it is because you understand the situation. As you see, it's really a beautifully thrown ball and a great catch from Pickens. Maybe the way I set that up, you were expecting Pickens to go up and make an acrobatic catch, but really that was almost more so to throw than the catch on that one, although the catch was very good as well. Beautiful throw, and again, I don't know if maybe it's just a confidence thing too, of, hey, new offensive coordinator, let's see what can happen. I don't know, but at the end of the day, who cares? If it's working better, you're just happy it's working better if you're a Steelers fan, because these throws are legitimately really good throws. So yeah, as a whole, where do we go from here? It's kind of almost an ongoing joke, but there does seem to be some truth to it that every time a coach gets fired, it seems like the next week that team looks way better, but then can often fall back down to earth. Usually, hey, someone getting their opportunity, you want to make sure you help out that person, do well for 1 week, but then it often can wear off for another week. But perhaps in this scenario, it's a little bit different because you're trying to make the playoffs, and maybe this can be, if nothing else, a confidence boost. And I did think there were some little things that I liked better here. Again, it's one of those situations where, I'm not sure if it's quite as simple as they got rid of Matt Canada and now the offense looks way better. But at the same time, who cares? It's looking better, and that's all you want to see if you're a Steelers fan. And it does feel like it's helped to some degree. So, we'll have to see more games to really get a full, perfect evaluation. But for now, you have to feel pretty good about how things are going if you're a Steelers fan. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.